Now that we know how to add and subtract decimals, this opens up a whole new world for us because the world really does work with decimals and fractions. Not everything is a nice whole number. So here we have a picture of a skeleton, and they have the lengths of some of the bones written in with inches. And our question says, what is the combined length of the humerus and the radius bones? Okay, well, to figure that out, first of all, we need to know what is the humerus and the radius bones. So here's the humerus, and here is the radius. Okay, so if they want to know the length, the combined length, that's telling us that we're going to be adding two things. That's a key word for addition. So if the humerus is 14.35 and the radius is 10.4, remember, we're keeping that nice and lined up along the decimal. So our answer, the decimal, would be right here. And then we can just begin adding. 5 plus 0 would be 5. 3 plus 4 would be 7. 4 plus 0 would be 4. And 1 plus 1 would be 2. So it looks like their combined length would be 24.75 inches. Now this problem is asking what is the difference in the lengths of those two bones. So that keyword difference there is telling us to subtract those two things. So we're going to take that humerus, which was 14.35, and this time we're going to subtract the radius, which was 10.4. Now here again, if you need to put in a zero placeholder, you absolutely can. Generally, when the zero is on the bottom, we don't have to worry about it so much, because of course we're not going to be using it to borrow. 5 minus nothing would be 5. Now here we can't take 4 from 3, so we will have to borrow and turn that into tenths. So that would be 13 of those tenths. Now 13 minus 4 would be 9. We keep our decimal nice and lined up. 3 minus 0 would be 3, and 1 minus 1 would be nothing. So it looks like the difference in those two bone lengths would be 3.95 inches. And here we have our last application type problem. And here we have what looks like some kind of a washer. And it tells us that the entire length here, from here to here, see, this is what it's showing us right here. That entire length is 29.805 feet. Now they've also given us these little edges right here. So this little edge is 2.981 feet, and this little edge here is 2.981 feet. We're supposed to find the length of Q, which is right here in the center. That's this length. Well, in order to find that, if we know how far it is the entire way across, and we know what two of these outside pieces are, we could take those away from the entire length and we would just be left with the middle. So we could do this in two steps actually. We could do the 2.981 plus the 2.981, and that would help us to be able to figure out what these outside edges are together. So let's see, that would be 1 plus 1 was 2, 8 plus 8 would be 16, 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1 would be 19. Keep the decimal nice and lined up. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it looks like this blue area here, if I can erase some of that off, it looks like from here and here would be 5.962 inches. Now if we take that away from the entire amount, keep your decimal nice and lined up, we should have what's left in the center. So 5 minus 2 would be 3. Now here we're going to have to borrow. So 10 minus 6 would be 4. Again, we're going to have to borrow. 17 minus 9 would be 8. That keeps my decimal nice and lined up. 8 minus 5 is 3, and 2 minus nothing is 2. So it looks like our entire edge here is this many feet.